Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Fitzsimon and Becki Gray. 5 years ago, the Moral Monday movement started, and over those 5 years, more than 1,000 people have been arrested for protesting for better treatment for the poor and minorities in this state. What's your evaluation of what they've accomplished over their 5 years? Is it mission accomplished, or should they continue their marches on the legislature? Chris, I'll start with you.
Well, they certainly have raised the consciousness, both in North Carolina and around the country. That Reverend Barber, Bishop Barber, now is leading a poor people's movement around the country, which is an outgrowth of this. And I think as a country, I think our poverty rate is still 21% for kids above that. We still have a lot of progress to be made in North Carolina and around the country. This is what, throughout our history, one of the ways that people have protested and had their voices heard. So I think I don't think it's resulted in enough changes in policy, but I think it has changed attitudes and certainly brought a lot of information and ideas to light that would not have been there otherwise.
In that vein, do you think you have seen any results at the voting booth, or?
It takes, I think we have seen in here and there. I think it all goes into this giant system that we've had and this sort of disruption of politics in general with the election of President Trump. And I think you'll see this fall, not just because of President Trump, but I think there's finally people finding their voice, not only to march, but also to vote.
Becki, I knew we were going to get Donald Trump in there somewhere. What's your reaction to the 5 years of Moral Mondays?
And Donald Trump? I think that the Moral Monday movement would concede they have not made a lot of progress. I mean, there's talk of starting that again as the General Assembly gets started, this need to continue this. And so have they made progress? I think by their own admission, they have not made progress. My suggestion, I am a huge proponent of First Amendment rights, of being able to lobby your legislature, to make your voice heard, protest in an orderly fashion, all of those kind of things. My recommendation would be, if they want to be effective, these massive, loud, disruptive protests that they've held at the General Assembly have not moved the needle at all, in my opinion. And I think even they would admit, not very far.
Would you say public awareness has increased as a result?
I'm not sure, because to be honest with you, and I've monitored it pretty closely. I spend a lot of time at the General Assembly. I've been down there on Mondays a lot. There's not a real cohesive message. It just seems they're mad that Republicans are in charge.
Well, I don't know about that. I think one of the reasons they're mad is that decisions are being made every day with zero public input. One of the things of the Moral Monday movement, they have a lot of issues and grievances, most of which I agree with, but one of the ones I agree with 100% is that there are decisions made every day about how to change a judge's district, how to put some money in a budget for a legislator, how to do things in secret. And that this General Assembly has gone further down the road for secretive government that doesn't let people participate. One of the fundamental tenets of this movement is to allow people to have a voice in their government. Increasingly, people do not have a voice in the government the way the General Assembly is conducting it.
Well,
I think disrupting the entire legislative process, where transparency and openness is part of that, where you have committee meetings, you have full debate
committee meetings on most of these issues. That's the whole point.
There are too, Chris.
Becki, there have been huge decisions, things stuck in the budget nobody has ever seen. That's increased more than it has in recent years.
I would disagree that it has increased. That has always been part of it. And you and I have consistently over the years opposed that.
And you haven't criticized that much since the Republicans took over, honestly.
Oh, come on, Chris.
Well, so you're saying it doesn't happen now?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that I don't think it's gloom and doom, and I don't think it's significantly worse than it ever was. I think a lot of times, you have to let the legislative process play out. And if you want to know what's going on, there's some responsibility that you hold as those of us sitting around the table. When a budget pops
out in secret, are citizens supposed to know exactly
Let me tell you, it's a lot better now than it used to be. It used to be, when I worked down there in 2001, 2002, you burned your hands getting it off the printer, and you got this big budget that was that. Now,
Josh Stein's budget was cut $10 million. It was in neither budget. Nobody saw it. We had to fire all these lawyers. Who had input into that decision?
We can go through every single item in the budget for those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that those are good ideas.
Almost feels like we are going through
that. That's the point.
Before they come to blows, let me thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.